So there's a major protest that the NDC is already mobilizing for. It's on the 17th, and it is building up to be one of possibly the most challenging period if this is not handled before that protest actually kicks in. We have the former president himself on the campaign trail today, asking all NDC supporters across the country to show up and march on EC offices across the country on Tuesday. Why? Because they have issues with the voters register, and they've been protesting, going to the EC, making their case for them at the IPAC meeting. They believe that their issues have not been properly addressed, and so they're going to hit the streets. So when the NDC, a major political party like that, decides to put its men and women on the streets across the country with, just as we now know, 88 days to an election, that rings a bit of a challenge as far as the security situation is concerned. And that is why we're having this conversation tonight in terms of what can be done to first address the issues and ask a fundamental question: are they even legitimate issues that the NDC really have? What really is the justification for this, considering where we are in the march towards December 7 and how tense the environment is already? You don't want a major political party hitting the streets across the country, coordinated simultaneously on a single day, protesting and marching on to the Electoral Commission. So many things could go wrong. The Electoral Commission itself will be under siege. The police will not have the resources to police these protests because it's going to happen in 16 regions at the same time. And that clearly is one that is posing the first major threat ahead of the December 7 election. So we're counting down to the elections itself, and Tuesday is when the NDC wants to hit the streets and protest. But really, what are their demands? A few things that they put out there. They want timelines for corrections of the register because they have catalogued a few issues that they believe have made this particular register not credible. And so they want the EC dealing with that, and that is one of the key things. But also want a forensic audit. And this is fundamentally an issue that the EC is currently not open to consider. As you may know, the NDC this week paid a visit to the Electoral Commission, a special visit indeed, and made a request. And this obviously was covered quite extensively by ourselves here at the election headquarters. And the Electoral Commission told them, from what we heard from Dr. Manibama, that this demand here will not happen. And that is really what has forced the NDC now to decide that they will take matters into their own hands and hit the street. It is their constitutional right, by the way, to do so, and that's what they want to do. They also want, as you know, the exhibition of the voters register has ended, and an exhibition process is where you go, and if there are issues with your own name in the register, you correct them. And that fundamentally is what the MPP's position is on this, that the exhibition process allows you an in to deal with any challenges you may have, if indeed there are challenges there. And they want the NDC to take advantage of that instead of taking to the streets to protest. But the NDC says they fundamentally want these issues dealt with by the Electoral Commission at a more holistic national level and not through exhibitions. That, of course, people can take advantage of that, but the parties themselves do not have a national control of the process. Individuals will have to go and check whether their names are in there or not. And we've seen some of the problems emerging. Apart from the register, the EC itself has put itself in a situation where they have actually played into the hands of the NDC and have led to questions being raised now about the integrity of the process, because there have been a few mistakes that they have admitted to and that the NDC is pointing to as a basis for this particular charge. We have illegal voter transfer, for example, that has happened, again, that the EC has admitted to. We've seen a situation where one of their own officers is currently under investigation because of this. So indeed it has happened. The NDC raised the issues. The Electoral Commission looked into it and admitted that indeed it has happened. And then you also have the NDC making a point about the EC system itself not being robust, right? Now, if you put all this together, the NDC believe they have enough basis to get the Electoral Commission to conduct this nationwide audit, including the fact that public confidence in the institution is winning. And if you look at the Afrobarometer report over the period, it shows that it hasn't been great when you look at public perception of the Electoral Commission, especially as you're approaching elections. Now, so that is an important point. Now, the EC itself haven't acknowledged some of the challenges. When they did a press conference last week, announced that they are also looking into some of the key issues around the illegal voter transfers across the country. They've conducted their own and conducting actually their own investigations across the country to try and see whether the issues that are recorded in the northern region are isolated or one that you can find in many more places beyond the northern region. So they're looking into themselves. That the NDC says they don't want the EC to be investigating themselves or auditing itself. They want an external body, an independent external body, to do so. That is what the NDC has been calling for. Now, we've counted at least 3 mistakes done so far by the Electoral Commission. And the 3 mistakes indeed in these high-stakes period will be enough to get one of the parties in the process telling you that they don't trust that the process will deliver a free, fair elections at the end of the day, which really is what we're beginning to see. A few of them, if you haven't paid attention to, just to enumerate. We've had this situation with the voter registration figures that we've seen that the EC itself had to correct over a period. The NDC had to call their attention to some of them, which doesn't help, right? So that had created a problem. And then you have the voter registration graphics that were put out, where mistakes in it were withdrawn, explanations put out by the Electoral Commission. It really doesn't help with public confidence in this process. Certainly, when you have an opposition party that already had fundamental trust issues when it comes to the Electoral Commission, it just lays the foundation for an even more controversial process leading to the December 7 elections. And we have the errors in the transferred voters, which has come up strongly, that the EC itself has admitted to. Another one there for the parties now to consider how to resolve it. The incumbent ruling National Democratic Congress, though, say, yeah, they have some issues, but they believe the way to deal with the issues is not through protest, right? They obviously say the register, of course, that we have, that is provisional. It's not the final one. It's still going through the process of cleaning and finalizing. So the NDC, they still have an opportunity to have this addressed and not through protest. That's the MPP's position. And that, of course, you can still make changes to it. And then you can also obviously use the process of going to the exhibitions to try and get that resolved. And that this whole issue that the NDC is creating is unnecessary. And the thing, though, about this is, depending on where you are, either in government or in opposition, you take a position against the Electoral Commission. We've seen this play out over the period, right? Opposition parties tend not to trust the Electoral Commission, whoever is there, and incumbent parties tend to have a much more healthy relationship with the Electoral Commission. Why that is, I don't know, but the evidence shows that even in 2016, when the MPP in opposition was saying this, raising issues with the EC's processes toward the December 7 elections in 2016, when that election was done and superintended and conducted by the Electoral Commission, we know the outcome. It delivered the largest victory yet to an opposition political party, the same Electoral Commission that the MPP did not trust. So, again, is there a basis for this? Is there justification for what is happening right now? Right? It begs that question. The MPP learns that. What they did after the elections when they won was obvious. We saw the removal of the EC chairperson for the very first time after they'd gone through the constitutional process, indeed legitimately so. Then we're now seeing this play out again with the NDC. What will happen on December 7 will tell us whether indeed they have the basis to be worried or they are simply seeing ghosts in places that aren't. My guests will join me for a conversation after this. Stay with me. And Peer Messages is always brought to you by Syntax Thanks. It is strong, it is tough. Academic Times, the Academic Times Ghana, is an incoming graphic and online publication aiming to collaborate with university authorities and students to ensure the student research is published in summary form. And we also, always here on PM Express, also want you to alert you to the University of Ghana Alumni Lecture, which is coming up in 2024. And then also, you have to pay attention to Tune In. Is the MGL radio platforms are all now on TuneIn. Joy FM is there. You can find us there. and that is the place to be. Download it if you don't have it already and look for us. And you can also call Syntex tanks. They are across the country, 0244-335-168, or shop online at syntexgh.com. And joining me for a conversation tonight on the show is Evans Mensah. Evans Mensah is the Director of Elections for the NPP and is with me in the studio. Also with me is a man who has a very interesting name because he is a man for the NDC when it comes to their IT systems, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. They must always add a computer to it. One day when I sit with him for a personality profile, I'll ask him why. But he's a Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the main opposition, NDC. And Benjamin Banobio is the Director, Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, who also joins us because this obviously fundamentally has to do with the Commission and the concerns that the NDC has with them. And so I'm delighted that he can join us, Benjamin. But Tanko, let me start with you. First of all, this Tuesday demonstration, is it really necessary?
Evans, let me say good evening to your cherished viewers, and then to the good people of Bimbila. That's my hometown. Yes, I wish them well as we celebrate this Damba festival. It's coming. This is the month of Damba. You know, we are invited. You need to come down there to see the proper tradition of Dagwa and Nanumbes over there. Evans, you see, we have come to a crossroads in this country, a very critical moment of our democracy, that if we don't take care, what is going on in the sub-region, God forbid, we don't want it in this country. And the only problem that we foresee that people are closing their ears to is this register. Because a register, a clean, clear, credible register is sine qua non to credible elections. Because when Stalin talked about this issue in 1924, about those who cast the vote decide nothing, but those who count the vote decide everything, it has started playing as of now. That is what is facing us. Because why are we going for demonstration? We have two major issues that we want the Electoral Commission to address. And we are calling on civil society, the media, and stakeholders in our democracy to come on board on these two issues. The first one are the anomalies that we've seen in the provisional register given to us by the Electoral Commission. That's the first one.
Anomalies that they've given to you?
Yes, the anomalies we have seen in their register.
But that is provisional.
That is why we are saying that.
But if it's provisional, what it also means is that there are avenues to correct them.
That's why we are coming.
Demonstration is definitely
that's what we are coming to. Always in provisional register, we always exhibit it right for corrections. But when the issues bordering on the provisional register, it's more than about corrections. Simple corrections that, like, you come and say, my name is not properly spelled, my name is not arranged, my date of birth is not properly captured, my sex is not properly captured, and all that. Where we have major corrections and minor corrections. Minor corrections can easily be done at the exhibition center. And then the major one, like where your name is not there, you go and fill the inclusion form, and then they put back your name. But where you begin to see bloating, padding of figures in the register.
You've seen bloating and padding of
figures?
Yes,
serious one.
Where's the evidence?
I'm just going to show you. We'll demonstrate it to them.
Okay.
One, I'm saying that we have two issues. One is about the register, the issues bordering on the register. And the second one is about the loss of the BVDs and the BVRs under CCT surveillance. When we went to meet the...
But the police is investigating that.
Well, Evans, when we went to meet the Electoral Commission on Friday, your team was there to cover it. In fact, they were standing while we were in there. The security checks they subjected us to before we got into their hall was enough to tell you that if your attack dog refused to bark at somebody who comes to steal your item, you should begin to question
but Tanko, even banks are robbed.
I am saying that this one is so serious.
Yeah, but that's why
because
the police is investigating that.
This thing happened, and we sent out the questionnaires for them to answer about the disappearance of those things. The EC initially, they were denying it.
So those are the two reasons
So two
why.
major ones. So the first one, about the register, which I've just given you. For instance, previous transfers illegally added to the current transfers. Previous transfers. What happened is that when it's all previous, transfers happen in 2020 to 2023. Normally, when you do transfers, it's become permanent. Unless 4 years' time that you can do another transfer. And so when you do transfer from one constituency to another, we have what we call absentee register is created. And then your name is put into the transfer list. So in the subsequent years, for instance, 2024, when they were doing transfer, presumably they went and took the data of 2023 transfer, the old ones. For instance, I transferred from 2020 to 2023. I'm now in Joy FM polling station. Then this year, when they brought the transfer list, they now added me into their same transfer list, showing that I've also transferred again this year by bloating the number. So that's why you saw the Ajumaku episode. About 3,000 names have been added, old transfer added to the register. So when we look at it, about 243,000 of that.
Across the country?
Across the country.
200 and what?
243,540 of such figures. Bloated. This is a bloated figure. And then when
transfers done in 2023.
Now added to the current transfer list. And so it's like you've just taken that, because we look at the transfer folders when they give to us, and we saw a transfer folder of 566,000. We said that could not be the case, because we were part and parcel of the processes in transfer, and they gave us printouts. So we knew the number of people who transferred their votes. So we went and checked the transfer window of 2023, and we saw 322,000. So when you subtract the 322,000 from the 566,000, you are landing at 243,000. Where from this? Okay, so that was what Dr. Bosman agreed to and said they've realized that they've added some old data of 2020 into the current data. That is why the figures are bloated. We saw this.
Stay with me. I still have with me Benjamin from the EC, he's the Director of Electoral Services, and so I want him to address quickly that issue, and I'll hear from Evans Mensah. Benjamin, so you've heard him. 243,000. 243,000. Is that true?
On the issue of the transfers, as he rightly said, the transfer list that was given to them composed of transfer that we had done since 2020. When we compiled the register at first. So it involved transfers made in 2020, transferred in 2023, and transfers made in 2024. These are people who have transferred to the various polling stations. They are not ghost people. They are not bloated. They are in the register. Yet we have a list called transfer list. And this time around, we captured since the register was made, that is 2020. They raised that issue and we told them that it involves other transfers since 2020. And so when you take that of 2020 from it and then 2023 from it, you come to get the actual figure. We told them that we have it and we even told them. So if you deduct the two transfers, 2020, 2023, you will get the same figure as they are talking about. So it's not a matter of it being bloated. It's not bloated.
But is it an error or was it deliberately done?
Initially, we wanted to track the movement of all the voters. That was why we did that. And we decided to give it to them. But now they say they want the 2024. We have gotten that. And so in our last meeting, we told them that that will be ready for them to see.
Now, when did you detect this?
We printed it out. We knew that the transfer list given was from 2020 up to the current year.
So this wasn't an error, was it?
As I indicated, we wanted to track the movement of all voters since 2020. Okay. And so we did that transfer.
So this was done deliberately to track the movement of the voters? As a commission, that was what we did.
And what purpose would that serve? Giving the whole thing to the parties, it will enable them to also know the movement of the voters. But if they indicated they needed to know the 2024 one, in told them, yeah, we'll give it to you. It's just a matter of taking away the 2020 and the 2023 to get to the same level.
So that's the explanation there, Tanko. So what's the big deal here? This was done so that you can track the movement of the voters over time, and they gave it to you. It's not like they made a mistake or they were hiding it. They gave it to you, they told you about it. So
Evans,
what's the fuss?
Evans, this is a big issue, and I'm happy my good friend has accepted and agreed that, yes, there was something wrong with that.
But he hasn't said necessarily.
There's something wrong with that. What is happening is
reason why this happened.
This is a register you have given me. I know the total number of registered voters in that register. Then you now printed a register, which I know that I'm supposed to have 500 people here. Then the whole thing gets to about 2,000. Do you expect me to keep quiet?
No, but he says that was done for a purpose, to track the movement.
No.
You disagree that
you can only track the movement of transfers from the absentee list. Movement of transfers can only be tracked from absentee list. When you transfer, you become an absent voter in that polling station where you did the transfer. So if I want to track how many people transfer their votes, I go to the absentee list. And that will tell me the path. And that's why we have another one. There is another transfer they did that they didn't show the path. I told you we have issues, and that is 5 of them. I've just given one, 243,000. There's another group where they did the same thing, transfer people from one polling station to another without showing the path. You go to the absentee list, you are not going to see them, but you see them in the main register sitting in there. That's another group. And that one is amounting to about 15,000 of such people. We show them, we demonstrated it. And then there is another group where clearly you will see that.
Tanko, do you buy the EC's explanation that this was done deliberately to track?
I am saying that what my good friend, I completely rejected, because you cannot track transfers by padding other ones, because you want to show that those transfers are already embedded in the register of 2023. But he also makes a point.
You said that you discovered this. It says they gave it to you.
Yes.
Knowing that that's what they've done. It's not that they were hiding it.
Oh, I am saying that in election management, if you don't discover it, it passes. That's why we don't accept errors in election management. Because as soon as you don't discover it, it passes. If you discover it, they say it's error. That is how election management.
But he hasn't used the word error. I mean, and that I was asking the question. It wasn't done in error. It was done deliberately with a purpose, which is to track the movement.
And I'm saying that you don't track it the way he explained it. You can track transfers through absentee list. Transfers, when you do it from 2020 to 2023, it goes into the main register. So you don't need to bring it back to 2024 to tell me I should go back to 2023 to be looking at those who did the transfer. When you do a transfer, it goes into the register.
I mean, let me bring it. Evans, did you also receive the same document, the same register?
Well, thank you very much for having me. And I'm happy to be here with Doctor. And good evening to Mr. Banobio. I think this issue, really, if you understand the whole process, you don't have too much of a problem. We went into the 2020 elections with registered voters of about 70,029,000. Then 2023, the EEC did limited registration exercise. That gave us about 960,000. It put you into 18 million. Just recently, 2024, EEC did limited registration exercise. Now we are hovering around 18.7 million. The register we got from the EEC 2024. Ahead of this exercise, 2024 registration, the NDC had picked from the EEC the register of 2020 up to 2023. We had picked same. After all these exercises, the EEC now compiled provisional register, and copies have been given to political parties. In fact, NDC picked their copy before the New Patriotic Party got ours, ahead of the limited exhibition exercise which took place between 20th and 27th of last month. You are looking at a total registered voters of about 18.7 million. If there are transfers, no matter where you are transferred to, the global picture of 18.7 million you must have. Once you move from Joy FM polling station to MPP headquarters at Salam Down, it is -1 here, +1 there. So the global picture, 18.7 million, will not change. But here we are, our friend says that what they have seen, they realize that the register has been padded.
Did you see the 243,000 extra?
We have not seen that. What we have done, New Patriotic Party, is that we printed the register. We've given it out to our polling station executives, and we are doing voter audits. You see, we are going to an election within 88 days, D-Day. We are focused selling our presidential candidate, selling our parliamentary candidate. The NDC can decide to use that route of challenging the register. You can't go into elections and not be mindful of the credibility of a register.
I mean, I'm curious. The EC, Mr. Barnaby, doesn't deny the fact that, yes, we had extra names in the in terms of transfers.
No, Evans.
And he did it because
Evans,
he wanted to help you track.
It will not be a padded register.
Who have transferred.
I'm saying
Did
that.
you notice that, though?
I'm saying that if you understand the process.
So you won't call it padded?
No.
What would you call it? But did you spot it?
No, you see, it's a register that has been given to you. In fact, on election day, you have the main register, you have the transfer list, you have the absentee list, you have proxy, and you would have gotten special voters list ahead of the main day. So you look at all these, and you look at your strategies on how you proceed. I'm saying for us as New Patriotic Party, when you got the register, we did what we would think that in a scheme of things, reaching out to the voters, we were right. And so I'm saying that...
No, but you haven't answered my question. Did you notice this 243,000?
I'm saying that our focus has not been...
Yeah, I know what your focus is, but did you see this in the document?
We've not gone into that.
You haven't gone into that?
We haven't
So,
gone
but when
into
you heard Barnaby say, is it a surprise to you that this is something they've done to help you track the movement of voters?
Yes, you see, for me, if you look at the art, when you've done transfer, it's not permanent. It's not. So once the process is over, you'll be reverted back to your main polling station. And so I'm saying that the issue the NDC is bringing up now, looking at the number of polling stations we have, 38,622, or close to 40,000. And we are looking at the registered voters per polling station. You should know. And you see, I'm saying that we have gotten the 2020 register, additional provisional register or limited registration exercise added. And in that register, that registration exercise, parties were given end-of-day reports. And then we go to 2024, end-of-day reports were given. And all put together, parties have been given the provisional register. If there are issues in that provisional register, it says that as a registered voter, you can object to somebody's inclusion, or you go and make corrections to your details. And it will take the EC to trigger the process of adjudication to resolve the issues. And so if you've identified this issue, we don't see where there should be a problem. But I'm saying that genuinely, if you feel that something is wrong, you discuss with the body that compile the whole exercise.
But they've been to the EC.
Hold on, my brother. Yes. Between 2012 and 2016, the New Patriotic Party raised concerns about the register. At a point, the then Madame Charlotte said, put together the Justice Craft Committee. The committee, at the end of its engagement with stakeholders, almost all political parties, other civil society organizations, said that there were about 582,000 people on the register who were not supposed to be there. And so the EC should take steps to clean the register. That was 2015. We went into 2016 elections, New Patriotic Party, we won. And so when you are given a register, It is for you as the political party to look at it and say, how do I reach out to my voters?
So Justice Scrap led that committee set up by the Electoral Commission.
Yes.
NDC is asking for an audit.
NDC.
So why are you not supporting that?
Hold on, Evans. NDC's request is that the whole register should be given to an external body, UNDP.
Yeah, but Justice Scrap was an external body. I mean, it's an external person.
Justice Scrap
represented the committee.
Did not take the register. They did not take the register. They said that if you look at death rates from
but they would have looked at the register as a basis.
Chief. Yes, I mean, you can get the provisional register. They say looking at death rates from 2012 to 2015, you do the calculation. It is possible that there will be this number of people on the register who are not supposed to be there. That was the CRAPS committee. The EC did not give the register to any external body. In fact, Justice Scrap was not giving the register. That take this register and look whether Dr. Tanko is on it, or Evans Mensah is on it, or Evans Mensah. That's not what they did. But they did some projections. In fact, that presentation by NDC to Justice Scrap Committee, then led by the current chairman, Mr. Stephen Ketel, NDC said that register was fit for purpose, and so it should be allowed to roll.
And it turned out so, because you won with that same register.
After the 2016 elections, a new EC comes and says that the register we have now has reached end of life. It is not robust enough, and therefore, let's have a new management system. NDC said, no way.
So I'll come to the specifics of what we're dealing with now. Dr. Tanko, so where you stand now for that first part of the issue of the transfers, you still don't buy the EC's explanation?
Very well. I say this is one leg of even the transfers. There's even bigger leg.
Which is what?
Which is the illegal transfers.
Okay. Which they have admitted that happened.
The second one.
Yes, they have admitted.
The first one, which is about the
243,000. Looking at me as if he hasn't heard NDC.
He knows that.
Electoral Commission press
yes,
they are investigating. They are investigating.
But I'm saying that the 33 that they talked about, the Pusiga,
yes,
there are more than that. There are about 15,000 of such transfers.
You see, when you listen to the deputy chair at that press conference, he says they are actually now investigating across the country, so just to be sure that it isn't an isolated incident.
Evans,
so
that's why
isn't that enough?
That is why I'm saying that. I'm happy my good friend is alluding to the Justice Scrap issue. Yeah. It way back 2012, when we started the biometric register, they came with that idea. And we bought into it and said, fine, it's good. It will help clean the electoral process. So we brought in the biometric system for the first time. And then they went further on and said they needed a forensic audit of the IT systems and all that in 2012. And UNDP supported it, funded the process. And then around to 2015, they came out with a story of 80,000 Togolese in the register. I'm sure you should have been saying that one.
Yeah.
Your issue was not about dead people. You were talking of Togolese. 80,000 Togolese.
And foreigners
on our register.
On the register.
Yes, His Excellency, by then not His Excellency, he was just running mate, did some presentations across the country about these Togolese issues. That led to the formation of the 5-member committee to do the investigation. So MPP, when they are talking, just listen to them. It's like they are whistling. They will come and sing song. You are the first people to call for forensic audit of a register because you felt that there were foreigners in that register. And it was not fit for purpose.
We never said...
Oh, you said 80,000.
We never said there should be a forensic audit. We said that let us have a new register for 20...
Yeah, but bottom line, you got a committee to do a work.
The thing was that you needed that 80,000 foreigners were in the register. You demonstrated everything. And the committee, Charlotte Osei, said, fine, we will escalate our issue to a committee, a 5-member committee, led by an astute Supreme Court judge, in fact, the first electoral commissioner in Ghana. He sat through, you came and made presentation, we did presentation. And finally, they dismissed it because what you are saying, your issue was dismissed at that committee because
so you want the same treatment now?
And I'm saying that we are here. We went to the Electoral Commission, demonstrated, in fact, using their own system. Their IT officer was there when we were doing the demonstration. and show him the path. Now look at this path. These names you have seen in this place. Go and check the absent voters list, whether you will see them there. Who did the transfer? These people did not apply for any transfer. Do you know that in our system, you cannot do transfer when you don't appear in person in front of the returning officer?
That's what the rule says.
That's the rule. He knows it. The regulation that allowed transfers is in CI 127. Okay? And regulation 22 is very clear about it. 22.2 is talking about that you must appear before a returning officer.
So you're talking about the Pussy Guy incident?
That incident, and I'm saying that because that one, we use it as a teaser, they quickly went and were addressing 33, but there were 15,000 of such names.
How did you come to that?
It's their own system. We tracked it. We have the system.
15,000 of illegal transfers.
Of illegal transfers.
15,000.
15,000 of that. That's why we are calling for this forensic audit.
Have you presented it to the issue?
We did. We did a demonstration in their office.
Is it this Monday's meeting, the one that you
No,
did?
the Friday meeting we met. That's one leg. And then there was another group where, in fact, they were trying to transfer them. In the process of transferring, they realized that maybe there was a problem. So in bringing them back, they couldn't bring them back to their own polling station. So they inadvertently deleted their names from the register. We saw it.
So you said inadvertently?
That is what I'm saying.
That is instructive.
You know what?
So what I mean is that you are admitting that the electoral commission,
I'm coming.
Nobody's deliberately out there trying to read the polls.
I'm saying that I didn't apply for transfer. So you were transferring me to a place. I've seen the transfer list, and you have shown that you have been transferred from this Joy FM polling station to Agona Swedu. But I didn't apply for it. Then we've seen that transfer reversals being reversed back. But in process of bringing the person completely out. And that one's about 3,957 of such people. Completely taken out. Okay. So they are sitting in their homes thinking that their names are in the register. But their names are completely out.
That is what the exhibition is for.
No, the exhibition, Ghana, we've never crossed even 40% of people going to check their names. Check from the record, from 1992 up to date. We have never crossed 40% of people coming out to check them.
Let me put a few of the questions to Mr. Bano. Mr. Banobio, first of all, when you were doing the transfer issues with as you said, you wanted to show and track the movement of people over time, and you knew that the numbers were not going to add up, but you knew why you were doing it, did you inform the parties about this? That this is the transparency question.
Electoral Commission. Well, I'm with you. Yeah. When we compile the transfer list, as I indicated, we compile it from 2020, 2023, and then 2024. And block. And we gave it to the political parties.
But did you inform them that you had included the extra names and you were doing it because you wanted to track the movement of people?
That was an internal arrangement or administrative measure that we took. But when we gave it to them, we told them that it involves transfer from 2020. Later, they came and they were complaining at our various districts. So we told our districts to inform those who are complaining, the constituency executive, that this is what it is. That is why the figure is that.
On hindsight,
you see,
would you admit it was better to have told them, even if it's administrative internal decision, to have told them, because they're key stakeholders in this process, so they knew that this is something you're taking?
Yeah, what I want to indicate here is that nobody has added any voter who has not done transfer to the transfer list since 2020. And those who have transferred are still in their respective polling stations registers. So the issue of bloated register doesn't come in. It is a transfer that we compare from 2020 up to now. When the NDC came, they requested for the 2024. We told them, yeah, we'll give them to you. They came and showed us some samples of what they have. They said they have found some anomalies that they have observed. We took them through and told them that most of these things have already been resolved. For this exhibition exercise, because of the enormity of the work, we have established 4-pronged ways of detecting errors and correcting them. We start with the exhibition officer. Apart from the voters coming to check and request for correction, the exhibition officers themselves have been tasked to go through the register page by page and identify issues that need resolution and then report them for the necessary resolution. Then at the district offices, this time round, we have provided them with the electronic version of our registers. We call it the register viewer. They can, sitting behind their desktop, can go through the registers for all the polling stations in their district. And we have asked them to do that and then report on issues that needs to be resolved. Regional directors were also tasked to do same on their monitoring. Then when we come to the head office, we have a team specifically to go through the electronic register that we have at the head office to identify such issues. You see, people are talking about it so much because we open ourselves broadly and we are determined to ensure that all the issues that are with the register are resolved.
And address also the
It is
illegal,
not that we are just...
address the issue with the illegal transfers.
Hello?
Address the issue with the illegal transfers. That was admitted the last time we did a press conference, that there have been some illegal transfers. He says they've discovered some 15,000 illegal transfers across the country.
Please, there is nothing like 15,000 illegal transfers. As was told at that time during our press briefing. Yes, Pusiga, that was where the issue occurred. What happened was that somebody, we don't know how, went for the voter ID cards of these affected voters. And in Konava with an official of the EC, we engage a lot of temporary officials. They use the ID card, the photo on the ID card, to assess the transfer facility. This transfer facility accepts fingerprint verification and they also accept facial verification. At that point, we had not instituted a liveliness feature in the system. And so they used the photograph to effect the transfers. When the case was reported, because of the inbuilt accountability in our system, we were able to trace out to the point where it occurred. We were able to trace how it occurred, and then got to know that they used those pictures because the system captured everything. Yes, we did investigation. The officers at the district are being sanctioned. Investigation is still going on. All the 38 transfers that were detected have been reversed. And we did not end it there. We tasked our team, IT team, to go through all the transfers effected
across the country
to find out if such a situation occurred.
And this is across the country?
Across the country.
What's the update on that?
Yes, please. We have not found anything like that. And so this time around, we have now introduced the liveliness into the system so that nobody can use the picture or photo of a voter to effect or to assess
and give me another update.
We have done that for all the...
Give me another quick update. When you instructed your IT officers to do the nationwide audit to try and see if this illegal transfer is an isolated one or not, is that process complete now?
Yes, it is completed.
And you didn't find any other illegal transfer?
We did not find any other. No, we did not find any other illegal transfer.
Let's specifically, the NDC wants a nationwide audit done into the register by an external independent body. Is the EC open to that?
Evans, you know what? Electoral Commission of Ghana, we want to ensure successful election. It is in your own interest. And for the register, It is in the interest of the commission to ensure a very credible voters register. Because when you have a credible voters register, you have chopped more than 60% of the sources that you need to ensure a successful election. And so we are not leaving any stone unturned to ensure that we have a very credible voters register. The NDC came, presented some issues. I mean, they gave just examples. We told them that they should let us have their issues that they are complaining. But for all that they know, we might have even resolved those issues. They told us they will come, they will get it for us that same day. Up till now, we have not gotten anything from them.
What did you want to do with that information? But as a
commission, we are not sitting there. Come again?
When you asked for them to bring all the issues.
Please come again.
When you asked for them to bring all the issues, what was the plan?
They came, they told us they will give the issues to us. Yes, they told us that they will give the issues to us. So we asked them to let us have them. We'll go through and find out if there are issues as they are indicating. We'll resolve them. Then we'll give them a copy of the register that has been resolved for them to also look at. Since that time, they have not come back. They have not sent anything to anybody. And so if really they have issues as they are claiming, they should bring it to the fore. We are prepared. We are all partners. And I want to believe that they mean well. Anything that could be done to enhance the credibility of the register, we are for it.
Including,
so if they have issues, our doors are open 24/7.
Including an external audit?
That is what I'm saying. If it is necessary, we wouldn't care. But as it is now, the register is good to go. And so anyone who has issue and is calling for such measures should let us know what the issues are. Open up, bring them to us, let us sit down and go through the system and find out if those things are there. Then we'll take it from there. But for now, the register is very credible, it's very inclusive, and it is fit for purpose.
And so you're saying, just for clarity, if the NDC brings you all the issues they've raised, you would look into it with the intention of trying to resolve them at your own level within the EC?
Yes, if it has not been resolved already. But if it has not been resolved already, we'll do that.
But that is not.
We have nothing to hide.
But that is not what they want. They don't trust the EC to fix your own problems. They want an independent body to do so. Oh, I may have.
They want an independent body. Come again?
Please proceed. Forgive me.
Hello?
Please proceed.
No problem. Yeah. You see, if you say there's something wrong with the register, then you need to prove beyond doubt. You have come, made example demonstrations, and you have asked, let us have it so that we can all take a look at it. Why haven't they bring it? As at now, they have not brought anything. If they mean well, they should bring it up for us to look at it.
I mean, when they met you last week Friday, when they met you last week Friday, they did a demonstration. Didn't they leave that with you?
No. They didn't leave it. They even promised to get it to us when they get back to their office. As at now, nobody has sent anything.
Okay.
So I'm beginning to doubt if really what they are saying is true. Why are they not bringing it up? There was an example they showed. We picked that ID number. Later, when the IT consultants check, the person has transferred his vote to another police station. We asked the district officer, they were able to provide the forms that the person completed. But they were saying that that person was transferred without his knowledge. And so let us have the issues, let us go through them, one after the other, and examine them on their own merits. And then we can come out and say that
very finally, before I come back to
what you are saying is true or not.
Before I come back to the studio, next week, though, on Tuesday, we've had John Mahama say it, we've had the national chairman say it. They're going to mobilize their supporters across the country to march on your offices to demand this audit. What instructions are you giving to your offices across the country, knowing that you are a few days away, now a week away, less than a week away to this protest that will be targeting your offices?
Thank you very much. NDC is a political party, and a political party, it is one of our critical stakeholders. As a party, they have the right to demonstrate, but it must be done according to law. If you have issues and you want to present to our office, we have no problem. We will accept them. But we want to encourage them to ensure that civility prevails so that it doesn't turn out into something. All that they are looking for, as they claim, is for a credible voters' roll. And as I indicated, the Electoral Commission is for that. So if they have issues, why don't we judge up? Why don't we team up and ensure that the legislation is done?
Will you open?
That is my worry.
Will you open your offices on Tuesday?
It's a working day. And so we will open our offices. As I indicated, I know that NDC leadership will control their people and ensure civility.
Okay.
Because we live in a country where we are governed by law, and they know that.
Yeah.
Computer, I know him, he knows that, and he will do that. If they are coming to present petition, we'll check it. And then submit it to the authorities that be, and then we follow it up with that. But what I want to say is that we are all for the same purpose. So there's the need for all of us to team up, ensure that things are done in a very transparent and fair manner, so that in the end, we get a very credible voter register. Going to the election, we all ensure that the right things are done at all levels, so that in the end, the results that will be declared will be a true reflection of the desire of the people who voted.
Okay.
So I want to urge Ghanaians to continue to trust the Electoral Commission to deliver on its mandate.
Mr. Banobio, thank you very much. Let me come to the studio very quickly, my guest here, Evans Mensah.
Yes, I think Mr. Banobio has said it all. Evans, yesterday when our presidential candidate, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, submitted his document to the EC, he prayed for Ghana, and he asked all Ghanaians to come along and pray for the Electoral Commission so that they will deliver to us a credible elections. All I will tell Alaji Tanko and his people that a word to a wise is enough. But let me also say that this reverse psychology will not work against the new Patriotic Party. Alaji, as he sits here, is a subject of investigation at IPAC. You know, when we're doing the transfer exercise, he reported to IPAC that he did a transfer and the officer did not let him go through the process.
Can I correct? It's not transfer.
It's a proxy.
It's a proxy. It's an issue. I wanted to because we don't have time.
So you yourself, you are a subject of investigation at IPAC. But you see, Evans, I think that for the NDC, this has been their modus. And so at all times, they want to test the system to see whether that is what is really happening. I'm saying that where we have been giving register and we've printed it out to our people to go out and monitor it per polling station, our focus is to, as much as possible, reach out to the voter and make sure on D-Day, December 7th, majority of them will turn out and vote for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. We are not preaching war. As Mr. Banobio said, if you have issue, submit it. Pusiga, you said 38 people. You are calling a certain 15,000. You challenge people in Hohoe constituency. You objected to their inclusion in the register. Nandong, you did the same. You challenge people. So if you have these specific issues, bring them up. This so-called 17th September demonstration across Ghana, to what intent? A credible register. Let's go into it. I don't see what NDC really intends.
Let me ask him the question. Mr. Banobio says, they ask you, bring your issues and submit the full dossier on it, bring the further and better particulars. You promised to do so. You haven't returned.
Evans, we have trust issues with the Electoral Commission.
No, but did you promise?
I'm saying that,
did
yes.
You promise to return with the document?
We told them we would, because we also give them an external drive that they said they have the 2024 corrected version. You see, and we said, then give it to us.
Yes,
if you have
did you promise to
yes,
return
we told
with
them, we told them
particulars?
that because this electoral commission, countless times we have given them evidence of issue, they have not done anything about it.
But did you promise?
We told them that these are the issues. You, the register is from you. You have it. For instance, what my good brother mentioned, the proxy issues. You cannot do proxy without going through biometrics.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but
and I'm saying that this was an issue. It's even it's one of the issues we have raised.
He has said something categorically.
Yes.
That when you came, you presented the issues. They told you submit the evidence and we'll look into it. And you did promise them that you will return with the evidence.
Evans,
did you promise you return with the evidence?
We said we needed a forensic audit so that we'll present it there. The forensic audit will deal with this matter. Because this electoral commission, if we give these things to them,
but you're not answering my question.
I'm saying that
did you promise the electoral commission? Yes,
we promise that we will bring it if only they will accept forensic audit. That is it. It's a caveat.
Until then, you keep the 38 names.
My good brother, Banobio,
but how can they agree to an audit when they haven't verified your complaints?
Yes, he has verified. He has just agreed to the 243,000.
But you also claim that there are 15,000 people
I'm saying there are
who have been legally transferred. That he's disputing. And he's saying to you, bring all your concerns to the table. Let's look into it. And if there's a basis, he hasn't actually dismissed your call for an audit. He says if there's a basis, if you bring your evidence, they will look into it. And if that is what is needed, they will do it.
Evans.
So why don't you submit it?
Evans, it's a clear issue. This one there, it's not a matter we should belabor on this matter. It's a simple issue. We are saying that this electoral commission, as it is constituted, on countless times, I just mentioned BVD, the loss of the BVD, the issues of that one, the issue of the NANDOM officer that we petition against. He's still sitting there as a NANDOM. The issue of do you know Pusiga? Somebody used a fake Ghana card to register some people and he was arrested. I'm saying that several of these. So we are having
you say you don't trust the electoral commission. So why don't you keep your own word by submitting all the evidence? And if they still do not act, then you have a basis.
Evans, we are asking them for us, what they say they will hit the street. We are
but they haven't said. I mean, from what I heard Banobio say, what I heard Banobio say, he did not say they will not conduct the audit. He says they first want to understand your problem fully with the evidence.
We did.
And then they she said submit it. And then they'll come to a conclusion whether there's a basis for the audit or not. But until then, it will be difficult for them to come to that conclusion.
That's why I'm saying that clearly. We did a live demonstration. Yes. And that's what we wanted the media. We wanted
you return
I'm saying that we wanted the media, if you are joined, this discussion he's talking about and we are talking about it, we didn't have a reason because we did a clear demonstration.
Do a press conference and demonstrate it.
I am saying that if we demonstrate to their IT team, their IT officer was there.
But beyond the demonstration, did you leave that information with them in hard copy or in soft?
I've given you a background why we have not left that thing with them.
So, but how do they agree to an audit?
The EC has given you a register.
He has also agreed.
But he says they've cleaned it.
They deliberately added. Listen to the words you deliberately added.
To track the movement of.
Go to track. If you hadn't seen it, the register was given to us as a provisional register for us to look at, and we have been following them. What are the figures? I'm happy.
Has that been corrected or not?
It's not. What has been done about it? No. As we speak now, why are they asking their district offices to physically count the transfers that were there physically? Why are they having an IT system that cannot count and track the number of transfers, but they are rather subjecting their district officers to go work overnight to count physically how many people were actually transferred in the constituency. This electoral commission IT system is porous. He agreed. Somebody sat somewhere and used people ID cards to transfer people illegally. Okay. He agreed.
Evans, quickly.
So he said that the transfer could be done in two phases, the facial or fingerprints. That could be done. A human institution. So if you finish an exercise and put in checks, other arrangement to ensure that you have a certain level of foolproof arrangement, I don't think it's out of place. But I think NDC is behaving like Luis Suarez, okay? When a clear goal is happening, they want to use their hands to move the ball of the post. this whole
Evan, say you joined us for the demonstration. You agreed. You said it.
You don't have any business. I mean, you have too much time in your hands. And I'm saying that this reverse psychology of the NDC will not work. It's in the past where they think that you can sit in your room and manipulate a register. It's no more. But we are going to an election, and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia will beat Mr. Mahama once again.
Okay, Evans Mensah, thank you very much. Look at it. And Dr. Rashid Tanko, I'm grateful that you joined us.
I am telling you, I'm showing the research.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.